Okay. Hi.
Hello.
I'm Rabbi Jason Holtz.
I'm Michelle Erste.
We're from Temple Kilat Chaim in Roswell, Georgia, and we're talking about religious school today. We're talking about how to pick a religious school and why you might want to think about religious school for your kids. So, Michelle, you're the director of the religious school. You also have two kids.
I do.
13 and 10.
Mm-hmm.
So you've got two kids in religious school and you run a religious school.
I do.
And you're also a graduate of this religious school that you're now running.
I am.
Okay.
I am.
Why might the parent want to send their child to a religious school?
So the biggest thing with religious school that I get asked a lot, we get lots of phone calls about coming to religious school to get ready for bar and bat mitzvah. And my answer to that is usually, getting ready for bar and bat mitzvah is really important, and it's a huge milestone for children, Jewish children, and it can start at any time. One of the things we pride ourselves on is that we can take a child to bar and bat mitzvah within about 2 years, as long as they are diligent and parents are diligent. So that is really important, and people definitely look for religious school when they start thinking about bar and bat mitzvah. But religious school is so much more.
I like that butt.
Thank you. Religious school is so much more than just bar and bat mitzvah. It is a community for your children. Just like any school, it's a place to learn, it's a place to make friends, it's a place to truly have a Jewish community. And that is sometimes overlooked by parents because they start to look at religious schools in 3rd, 4th, 5th grade when bar and bat mitzvah suddenly seems very imminent. But I would encourage any parent to look at religious schools starting in kindergarten. This is especially important in the South, where our kids are not surrounded by Jewish kids all the time. But when they come to religious school, they're surrounded by Jewish kids all the time. Mm-hmm. And they can make Jewish friends, they can build a community, and their families can build a community that is Jewish and is focused on the learning and teaching and passing down of Jewish values.
Yeah, I like what you said about community because, TKC, Kilat Chaim, we focus on community. That's what Kilat means.
Yes.
And I love that because, bar bat mitzvah, it is important. It's a big milestone in a person's life and their whole family goes through it with them.
Yep.
You just became the mom of a bat mitzvah a few months ago.
I did, and it was a big deal. And we worked towards it for a long time, and it was a full family event.
But I love it when the kids come and they see their friends and they're super excited to see them and to be with them. And we realize that's a huge part of it.
Yes.
Too. So, religious school, but then also a lot of them stay after for youth group events, which start in 3rd grade here.
Yes.
And they get to know each other. And a big part of coming here is, yes, we try to make the learning exciting and interesting and relevant, but they also come to be with people that they like to be with.
They do. And we find ways to show them Judaism in the world around them. So one of the things I love is our Hugim program, which are electives.
Yeah.
We do, every 3rd through 7th grader gets to do an elective every single week at religious school, and it's always something a little different. This year, we had cooking, we had art, we had sports, Minecraft, and all of those things we applied to Judaism.
Yeah.
So suddenly they're building synagogues in Minecraft. They are learning about Jewish athletes when they're doing sports. They are learning to cook Jewish foods in cooking. They're learning about Jewish artists and their art forms and how they do those things in art. So it's not just having fun, it's understanding that there are Jews in the world all around us and how do we fit into that world.
It's great.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm sold on religious school.
Okay, good. Check.
Parents do have choices.
They do.
How should they pick a religious school? Let's say they've got a few temples near them.
Yeah, so
They'll have a religious school?
Almost every synagogue will have a religious school. The biggest thing is to go and experience it for yourself. Any religious school that you would want to be a part of should be open to you coming on a Sunday when they have religious school and experiencing the day with them. That's what we do. We always invite parents and the kids to come for a Sunday. I always include the kids in as much of the day as possible. So here we start at 9 and we go till 12:30, and I try to include kids in that full range of time if they're 3rd through 7th grade. If they're younger, we only offer the Judaics a little bit later in the day, but we invite them to come for all of that. That gives them a chance to not only experience the classroom, but also maybe make a friend or two, meet a couple teachers. It gives the parents a chance to sit in the lobby and talk to other parents. And it gives me a chance to walk them around the building and listen for happy learning sounds. That's what I call it. You want a place that is filled with learning sounds. Kids having fun, laughing, cheering, sometimes screaming, doors open, art on the walls, engaged teachers. That's what you're looking for. So that would be the number one thing that I would tell parents when you're looking for religious school, is schedule a time to go on a Sunday when religious school is in session and meet the director, the teachers, the classmates, see the building, see the classrooms, and see if it's the kind of community that you want to be a part of. Then the second thing I would have you do is come to a service, whether it's just a Friday night service or pick a children's service, or in our case, we have family Shabbat services. Come to one of those and meet other families who are coming to services. That will give you a chance to interact with the adults that are not sometimes there on Sunday mornings. But that gives you a chance to really get that Kehillah experience. So those are the two ways that I would recommend to experience a religious school. Then you can look online, social media, website, see how engaging their information is. And then the final thing that I would tell parents to look for is the curriculum. See if they've got a published curriculum. So at Temple Kehillat Chaim, we use the Institute for Southern Jewish Life, ISJL, which is a published curriculum. It's a spiral curriculum. It goes from pre-K through 12th grade, and it builds on all the basics of Judaism, the values, the Torah characters, the Israel, Hebrew, all of it is built in, the holidays, and it spirals from year to year. So they're not making the same Purim Grogger every year. They're not necessarily learning about Esther in the same way every year, because a third grader and a seventh grader can learn about Esther differently. So that's one of the things I really love about our curriculum. And I think it's really important for parents to understand that religious school, just like regular school, should have a curriculum. And it should be building on itself, and they should be learning more and more as they get older and older, so that when they walk out the door at 7th grade, and hopefully into a confirmation program, but at least walk out the door in 7th grade, they have a true understanding of the holidays, the values, the important Torah lessons, and the things that we want them to walk away with.
Sure. So, visit the religious school, get to know the people.
Yes.
Like, is this a place that you could see your child flourishing in?
Yes.
Is the director engaged? Is the teacher engaged? Will the teacher get my child? Will my child love their teacher and their classmates?
Yes.
Get to know the wider community, because you're not just joining for your child, you're joining for the family. And is this a place that you could see yourself?
Yes.
So at a Friday night service or adult education or community service, brotherhood, sisterhood, try stuff out, see if it's the right community, not just for the child, but really for the whole family. And then lastly, the curriculum, which speaks to the values.
Yes.
Like, we're a Reformed synagogue. We teach Judaism in line with our values.
Yes.
So, for example, we're not teaching women that they can't be rabbis and that they need to sit behind a divider, because there are some religious schools out there that are affiliated Orthodox, and if that's the family's choice, more power to them.
Right.
But they have to understand that there's certain values that are going to come across in the curriculum.
Absolutely.
Like, there's a different role for your children if they're women than if they're men.
Right.
And that could affect things like bat mitzvah and so on and so on.
And it goes to general inclusivity, I think, as well. I think that's the sort of the final thing that I didn't mention. Beyond values and Orthodox versus Reform, just, does your child feel included? We work very hard to meet every single learner where they are. Whether they have a learning disability or other challenges that they might struggle with on a daily basis, we really work hard to meet those kids where they are. So you want to make sure that the school is open to all learners and all kids, and helping them.
Especially your kid.
Yes, especially your kid, and because you know your kid best, and you know where they would do well, and that's why it's so important to step foot in the building.
Yeah, some places are loud and busy, and that works for some kids and not every other kid. And some kids need smaller groups and quiet spaces. And
Yes, and we go to special lengths to make sure that in the loud and busy times, we create quiet moments for our kids. And for the kids who need loud and busy all the time, they have things to keep them busy. So that's something that we work really hard on and really focus on. So you can also look at the staff that is on that is involved in the religious school. We have an education consultant who is focused on our special learners. Maybe not every religious school has that. Maybe that's not something you need, but if it is, it's something you can look for.
Yeah, great.
Yep.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. I hope that you will consider Temple Kehilat Hayim if you are looking for a religious school. If you are, you can visit us online at kehilathayim.org or email me at religiousschool@kehilathayim.org.
Next time we'll talk about maybe bar bat mitzvah. We'll talk about preparing for that, what to expect. It's a long journey, but it's a rewarding one. So, and we'll have some more videos coming out also about things to consider in your Jewish life. Bye, everyone.
Bye.